Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Maiana Jensen tōku ingoa.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Robyn Tauroa tōku ingoa. Nau mai haere mai ki he whakatupuranga, the whare kai e te Tātou marae.
Kia ora everybody, welcome to Haohao Te Tangata, a new video series from Whangaroa Papa Hapū, which will be addressing everything around redress in Whangaroa. So to kick us off today with our kaupapa, I'm talking with Whangaroa Papa Hapū kaiwhakahaere, Robyn Tauroa. Ka nui te mihi ki a koe, Robyn. Thank you very much for joining us today. Who is Whangaroa Papa Hapū?
Tēnā anō koe e Maiana. It's a privilege to be the first in the interview series. I'm very honoured. So to answer the question, who is the Whangaroa Papa Hapū? Whangaroa Papa Hapū evolved from Te Taumata o Tangitū. Te Whangaroa Papa Hapū was established in 2003 by the then kaumātua and 4 claimants of the time from Whangaroa. When I say claimants, I mean Waitangi Tribunal claimants that whakapapa to Whangaroa, who have claims on behalf of their whānau and their hapū. The name was given by Uncle Uru Heta, which is why it's really lovely to be in Uncle Uru's in our whare kai here. His whakaaro, the Whangaroa Papa Hapū, was around all of our hapū of Whangaroa evolving, generating from the papa, the whenua, within the Whangaroa rohe. At that time, as with all times, the kaumātua and claimants felt that working together to prove our claims to the Crown was a much better approach, and we have continued to do that and grown as we have along the journey. Yeah.
Who makes up Whangaroa Papa Hapū? What's the structure of the rōpū?
We have always been operating as a committee in common. So a committee in common is slightly different to other entities. In other words, we're not registered as a legal entity. We have been umbrellaed by the Crown Forest Rental Trust, which is not a Crown entity. It's actually an entity that's been developed and established by claimants. As far as the structure, I think the committee in common is the closest thing that we could have without having going to a board structure. So for me, it's really important because the committee that is elected by the people. The committee is referred to as a board, but actually the organisation is actually a committee rather than a board. That's been quite a revelation, I guess.
Yeah. And how do you think that's been an advantage as a rōpū to sit in that space?
Well, we are accountable more so to our whānau, to ourselves first and foremost, and to our whānau and our hapū. We're accountable to our people. And obviously we do still have to report to the people that have resourced us in terms of funding, but we have all of the policies and processes in place to ensure that we are operating ethically and above board. So it has been an advantage in the sense as we haven't registered as a Crown, under a Crown structure. However, in a lot of ways, we try and ensure that there are representatives on the committee that are from all of our marae, are from all of our claims, are from all of our hapū. Kia ora.
Kia ora. So a lot of people sometimes ask, or maybe are a bit confused about, the difference between Whangaroa Papa Hapū and Te Runanga or Whangaroa. Can you explain a bit about that?
I will try. The main difference, I guess, is that Te Runanga or Whangaroa were established as an iwi entity. So they were established under the Runanga Iwi Act, and they have the mandate, the Whangaroa iwi within the fisheries settlement. They have also got the mandate within the Resource Management Act, however that's changing these days. But the other main difference is, as an iwi entity, their representatives are chosen from marae. As a committee in common, who is working within the Waitangi Tribunal space, our committee or our representatives are chosen from whānau and hapū, but not necessarily marae. So that's the main difference. Yeah.
And what about in terms of the mahi that you both do? How is that different?
It obviously changes over time. We have tried to ensure that we're involved in any of the research that has anything to do with the claims. We have an archives which has been recognised by Te Papa o Tongarewa and forgotten the name of the national partnership. And we have managed to keep all of the manuscripts from all of the research that's been done. We have tried to keep it in a very orderly fashion. And the idea of that archives is that anyone from Whangaroa can utilise its contents to help their research. At the end of the day, it's to benefit Whangaroa. I think the Rūnanga has been very much involved in service delivery, in other words, health, social services, housing, whereas the Papa Hapū have not had the resources to do that. Our purpose is to prove our claims, which we have succeeded in doing, and then to, in 2017, which was when the hearings finished, we spent some time going around to our whānau in Hapū and having hui and asking, you know, would you like us to continue? It was confirmed that they did want us to continue just to help our Hapū, our whānau Hapū claimants work together, continue working together towards redress and negotiations, or negotiations and redress, I should say.
Yeah, kawhai. And so on the topic of redress, what is Whangaroa Papa Hapū doing in that space?
Our most recent milestone has been the production and introduction of Ngā Takengā Mai, which is a suggestion of a pathway forward, which is quite exciting. I think one of the things that we are doing with this series is ensuring that people understand what the goals of Ngā Takengā Mai are, which are for, as quickly as I can, for Ngā Hapū to choose representatives and make the decisions about which way forward that Whangaroa would collectively like to progress.
And that is something that we will cover off in the videos to come, so we'll go more into depth into that Ngā Takengā Mai. Basically what you're saying is that Whangaroa Papa Hapū is essentially creating the framework or the foundation for our people to then take with their own hands and move forward on that journey. Is that right?
Yep. Again, as far as redress, when you ask what sort of thing we have in mind, there have been a number of whakatauki that have always guided the Whangaroa Papa Hapū. Ngaro whenua atu, hoki whenua mai is one of them. So what whenua has been lost through the processes of the Crown, our goal is to have them returned to the Whangaroa people. It's one of them. Another one, mā Whangaroa e kōrero, mā Whangaroa, mō Whangaroa e kōrero, I beg your pardon, which is quite an important one because within the hearings process we agreed to be part of Te Paparahi o Te Raki, and there are 6 regions within that inquiry district. However, each of them, to stand on their own rangatiratanga, as with us, we would like to speak for ourselves going forward, as we have done throughout the process so far. I just want to thank all of those who have supported the Whangaroa Papa Hapū to get to where we are today. It has been a journey I've only been part of for coming up to 20 years, but there have just been so many whānau who have supported in the background with the diving, with the hangis, with the dishes, with the manaakitanga, and just the sewers, the stitches, the artists, the kai kōrero, the kai waiata, the kai karanga, ngā mea katoa. We've done a number of research projects internally. We've had an awesome journey to date. It has been challenging at times, but that's what happens when you're trying to lead a kaupapa. We take those knocks with the successes, and we're looking forward to going forward together.
Ngā mihi nui ki a koe. Thank you. Awesome to have a kōrero. Yeah, stay with us, whānau. In the next few weeks, we'll be rolling out some more of these videos. Next time, we'll be having a kōrero with Matua Bill Hori. So we'll be diving into Ngā Takengā Mai and go into that a bit more depth. So yeah, stay tuned, and you can find us on Facebook, Whangaroa Papa Hapū. If you have any whakaaro or pātai, we can receive them through, is it kaiwhakahaere at whangaroapapahapū.co.nz?
.org.nz.
There we go, yeah. And we'll put more of the information up under the post. Yeah, and until next time, te wā.